Hello Kita Queens and Kitabeautty. I'm back with another client tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing y'all how I created this ombre cut crease. It's giving very much fall vibes, and we're jumping straight into the video. I'm starting this tutorial off by cleaning my model's face. Now that her face is all clean, I'm going to start doing her eyebrows. I went ahead and cleaned them up a little bit off camera. Now I'm just going to go in and fill in her brows using my Nicka K eyebrow pencil, and this one is in the shade black. I normally like to use the shade black brown, but my beauty supply store has completely ran out, so for the time being I'm just going to be using black, and I'm just going to outline the natural shape of her eyebrows and extend the front of them a little bit until it reaches the edge of her nose. Once both brows have been outlined, you're going to start filling them in. I like to start from the back and work my way to the front. And to fill them in, I'm using the same shade, which is black. And I'm going to be taking this about 3/4 of the way. Then for the very front of her eyebrows, I'm going to be going in with a dark brown eyebrow pencil. Make sure you brush through the brows as you go, just so every shade you use can blend in seamlessly. I like to do this throughout the whole process, y'all. Every step of the way, I make sure I brush through those brows. Before I go in with concealer, I'm taking some clear eyelash glue and I'm just running this through her eyebrows. Then I'm going to go in with my spoolie and I'm using this to mold the hairs down in place. I like to brush them down immediately after I've applied the glue, just because it dries very quick. So you have to make sure you work pretty fast. To clean up her eyebrows, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer and my Arcade by Kiss concealer in the shades 07 and Chestnut. First, I'm taking the Nicka K concealer, which was in the shade 07, and I'm using this to clean up underneath her arch. I don't know how y'all like to do eyebrows, but me personally, I like for my clients' eyebrows to be very precise. This is probably the step that takes me the longest, just because I like to go back in and make sure everything is crisp. So that's what you're gonna see me doing in the video, but I made sure I didn't speed any of the clips up throughout this whole tutorial, just so y'all can see how fast I really move on my clients. So what you see in the video is how I perform in real life. I'm currently going in with the shade Chestnut, which was that Arcade by Kiss concealer, and I'm using it to clean up the rest of the way on the bottom of her eyebrows, and I'm also going to be using this to clean up the top of her eyebrows. Once I'm satisfied with the eyebrow, I'm just going to go ahead and buff the concealer out, and then I'm just going to repeat the same process on the other side. While I was filling in these eyebrows, I almost forgot to tell y'all, your girl has a birthday coming up. Your favorite YouTube makeup artist, which is hopefully me, has a birthday coming up. My birthday is October 12th. So if y'all want to send me a happy birthday message, you can go follow me on Instagram. A link will be down in the description box below. Or, you know, if you want to send your girl some money, I'll put the Cashapp down there too, okay? I need all my subscribers to send me $1. And if you rich like that, you can send me 2 or you can send me 5, and that's just that on that, period. But yeah, I'm gonna continue to clean up these brows, but I just had to add that in there, okay? Because it's Libra season, and Libras, we taking over. That's it, that's all. Now that her brows are clean, I'm going in with my Dermablend translucent powder, and I'm just pressing this at the front of the brows to lighten them up, and I'm also going to be using this to set some of the concealer in place. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going in with my P.Louise base, and this is in the shade Rumor Number 1. And as you can see, I'm just placing this all over her eyelids, and then I'm going to go in and just buff this product out using a buffing brush. To start this eyeshadow look off, I'm going to be going in with my Technic The Heat Is On palette, and I'm going to be taking that warm brown shade right there, and I'm using it as a transition. So I'm just stamping this on the outer edge of her eye using this blending brush. And since I'm doing a cut crease, I'm going to build up the color on the outside first, and then I'm going to start moving it towards the inside of her eye, so right underneath the front of her eyebrow. Now I'm taking my LickandLash Spice palette, and I'm using the shade Rocky, which is like this deep plum shade, and I'm just going to be applying this directly on her crease. I like to apply it with a small dense eyeshadow brush just to build the color up, and then I go back in with the blending brush that I used for the first shade, and I like to use this to blend out the edges. As I told y'all in the beginning, I did not speed any of these clips up in no way, shape, or form. So how fast I'm moving on her eyes right now is how fast that I move in real life. I know a lot of y'all have been having questions regarding to how long does it normally take me to do a lot of the looks that I film, and I try to have everything done within an hour to an hour and 15 minutes. To cut her crease, I'm going to be going in with my e.l.f. Camo Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair Rose. I'm just taking this on a flat synthetic brush, and I'm going to try to sketch out my shape first, and then when I feel like I'm satisfied with the shape, I'm just going to fill it in with the concealer. Once I have the cut crease all filled in, I'm just going to go ahead and buff out the product. Now, if you're using the e.l.f. Camo Concealer like me, you want to make sure you buff out the product immediately after you fill the whole cut crease. If you're using anything else, you could probably let it sit for a while and then go in and press out the concealer, but this product dries very quick, as I've told y'all in other videos, so just make sure you're managing your time well when working with this. Going back in with the shade Rocky from my Spice palette, and I'm using this to blend out the edge of her cut crease. Now I'm going in with the shade Girlfriend, and I mixed it with a little bit of the shade Salmon, and I'm just applying these right in front of the shade Rocky. I'm taking this yellow shade from my Bperfect Carnival XL palette, and I'm just going to be applying this towards the front of her cut crease, and I applied it a little bit on the last shade that we used just to blend everything in together. Left the inner corner of her cut crease blank. For some reason, I just love the way white looks at the beginning of an eyeshadow look, but now I'm taking this pigment from P.Louise, and it's like a white gold pigment, and I'm just pressing this over top of her whole cut crease using this e.l.f. eyeshadow brush, and I'm just pressing this over the eyeshadows bare. Okay, I didn't go in with any type of adhesive or anything that will get it to stick. I'm just pressing this straight on top of the eyeshadows. Now I'm just going to go ahead and line her eyes using my Wet n Wild black liquid liner. Now I'm just taking a random black eyeshadow. You can use any black eyeshadow you want, and I'm using this to blend out the edge of the liner into the eyeshadow. Moving on to the face, I went ahead and cleaned and moisturized her face off camera. Now I'm just going in with my calamine lotion and I'm using this to prime her skin. A lot of y'all have been asking me what I use this for. I like to use this underneath the foundation because it just mattifies the skin and it holds back any oils that could possibly penetrate her makeup throughout the day. That's the best way that I can explain it. But now I'm going in with my Real Technique sponge and I'm using it to really press this calamine lotion into her skin. If you would like to see a more detailed video of how I prep the face before the foundation routine, I included that in my last client tutorial, so I suggest you go back and watch that video after you finish this. Okay, you gotta finish this first. For her foundation, I'm going in with my Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation and it's in the shade Deep Golden. This was the only shade that I went in with. I know y'all are probably used to seeing me use 2 shades, but this was like her perfect complexion. So I'm just applying this straight to her face using a small synthetic brush. Now I'm taking this dense foundation brush and I'm using it to tap everything in place. To highlight her face, I'm going in with my Nicka K concealer and this is in the shade 07. Y'all, I go through this concealer so fast. Like, I have to buy this almost every other week because I just go through it that fast. And the packaging of it is so big and they put a lot of product in it, but y'all, this is like my favorite concealer to use. If you haven't tried it yet, I recommend that you do. You should be able to find it at your local beauty supply store. So test it out, queen. Tell me how you like it, okay? To blend out the concealer, I'm going in with the exact same brush that I used to blend out her foundation. I don't know, y'all, I just love for everything to blend, okay? The focus point for today's video is blend. As you can see, the eyeshadow is blended, the makeup is blended, her full face is just about to be a blend, okay? I'm gonna let the concealer sit under her eyes a little longer and I'm just gonna go ahead and contour. So to contour her face, I'm using my Juvias Place foundation stick and that one was in the shade Congo. Now I'm just going in and I'm pressing the contour out. I like to apply the contour at the natural cheekbone line. As you can see, hers are kind of low, so when I'm blending it out, I make sure I blend up and not down. I like to go in with my sponge just to clean up underneath the contour. Make sure it's not looking too rough, you know, too harsh. what's the focus point? Blend, okay? Blend, baby. Now I'm going back in with that sponge and I'm using it to blend out the concealer on her nose, and then I'm just gonna go ahead and sculpt it out. To sculpt out her nose, I'm using Juvia's Place foundation stick, but this one is in the shade Catsina, and I'm just using this small eyeshadow brush so I can make sure I make it as precise as I can get it. Now I'm going back in with my Real Technique sponge and I'm using it to blend out the concealer under her eyes. She always makes this face, y'all, when I'm blending out the concealer under her eyes, but it works for me. As long as I can get under her eyes, I don't care if she look like an exorcism, okay? It's fine with me. To set the highlighted areas of her face, I'm going in with my Fit Me pressed powder and my Morphe loose powder. First, I'm taking my Fit Me pressed powder, and it's in the shade Golden Caramel, and I'm just pressing this into all the areas that we concealed. I'm going on top of that Fit Me pressed powder with my Morphe loose powder. To set the contoured areas of her face, I'm going in with my Black Radiance pressed powder, and it's in the shade Black Coffee. To set the remaining areas of her face, I'm using my Fit Me pressed powder, and it's in the shade Mocha. Now I'm taking the orange blush from my Juvia's Place Her Blush Palette. I believe it's volume 1, and I'm just tapping this on the apples of her cheeks. I'm gonna go ahead and work on her under eyes. So I'm taking some black gel liner, and I'm using this to line about 1/4 of her waterline. And that was all I did for her under eyes, y'all. Now I'm going back in with that foundation brush, and I'm using it to press in any powder that I have resting on her face. Now it's time to glue on her lashes. So I like to apply the lash adhesive right above her lash line. I think it makes it easier to apply the lashes, and you end up using less glue than what you would if you applied it directly onto the lash band. So yeah, I just like to do this, and it dries quicker. So now I'm going in and I'm just placing the lashes on top of the glue. Went ahead and applied the other lash off camera. Now I'm going to have her open her eyes so I can see how they look, and then I'm going to go over her face with some setting spray. Make sure I drown her in the spray, y'all. Now I'm just taking this plastic board type of thing, and I'm using it to fan the spray. Now it's time to highlight this face, okay? Make her glow, y'all. So I'm taking a champagne colored eyeshadow, and I'm just applying it to the tip and the bridge of her nose. Then I'm gonna take it on a blending brush and just apply it to the apples of her cheeks. It's easier to see where to apply it once you've sprayed the face with setting spray, so make sure you do that beforehand. Last but not least, it's time to do these lips, y'all. So I'm taking my LA Colors dark brown eyebrow pencil and I'm using this to line her lips. I have found other lip liners that I now like to use, but this is still like my all-time fave, and it's not even a lip liner, y'all. This is an eyebrow pencil. But since I'm doing a nude ombre lip, I'm gonna outline her lips first, and then I'm gonna go back in with the liquid lipstick. For the center of her lips, I'm going in with my Zorura liquid lipstick in the shade number 39. I've used this in I don't know how many of my past client tutorials, y'all. Like, I'm falling in love with this liquid lipstick. I think it's my new favorite, but I'm just blending that liquid lipstick onto her lip liner. And y'all know me, I'm a gloss type of girl, so once I have this all blended out, I'm just gonna go on top of it with a clear lip gloss. Once I'm finished applying this lip gloss, we'll be getting into the grand reveal, so I'm just gonna let y'all watch. Ready to see?
Yeah. You always do my makeup so good. Oh my gosh. I love it. Period. I love it. I love it.